A new season at Juventus is bringing a new manager in the shape of Maurizio Sarri, but will he keep Ronaldo in the starting lineup, and which other players will he bring in as he looks to bring the Champions League to Turin? That's what we're going to be discussing in the next few minutes with this potential starting 11 for Juventus in the upcoming campaign. First off, we start in between the six, and with Gigi Buffon returning to the club, you don't really blame Wojciech Szczesny for looking over his shoulder a little bit worryingly. Despite this though, the Polish shot stopper will be number one. There is a clause in Buffon's new contract saying he has to play in 8 Serie A games a season to break an appearance record, but aside from that, you can expect Szczesny to be number one. The club have put so much work into him, and he's put so much work into the club in the last few years to become number one, they would look a bit foolish if they went and changed it again. As for Gigi Buffon, he's experienced enough to know when the team can benefit without him, so I can definitely see Wojciech Szczesny in goal. Now into the defence, and this is where it gets actually quite interesting from Maurizio Sarri's point of view. He has come out in a few press conferences and said that he won't be playing with any wide midfielders, so the fullbacks will have to provide a lot of the attacking threat out wide. He has said this and plans to bring back Juan Cuadrado. Now, this is obviously a bit of an odd decision considering that he is a winger and a wing-back at best, and definitely not a right-back with his defensive skills rather questionable. But if Juventus are going to dominate, which they normally do, then he'll be a fantastic asset down the right-hand side. Despite this though, I am going to pit for João Cancelo, but only just. The reason I say only just is that Manchester City have been linked with a big move for the Portuguese right-back, who only joined last summer. If they lose Danilo as the right-back to Kyle Walker, then they've only got Walker, so they're probably going to need a second one. Cuadrado may be tried by Sarri, but I'm not so sure he's going to be number one choice, so João Cancelo fits in that spot excellently. Into the centre of defence now, and the first one is obviously Giorgio Chiellini. I know he's going to be 35 in August, but Serie A has a knack for holding on to defensive players for a lot longer than you would think. At 35, he's still got a lot to offer and is still one of the best defenders in the league, if not in European football. Alongside him, well, that's another decision, but I have picked Chiellini above Leonardo Bonucci, and the reason is because Matthijs de Ligt looks to be joining Juventus. So, alongside Chiellini with a Dutch 19-year-old now starting, Bonucci may be on his way out of the starting 11 and even out of the club. Now, we did mention Manchester City being linked with João Cancelo, well, they've also been linked with a move for Leonardo Bonucci. I know what you're thinking, if he's only second best to Chiellini and de Ligt, why would they go and sell him? Well, the truth is, they're going to get the right amount of money for him. If they were to sell Chiellini at 35 years old, they're really not going to get much money. If they were to sell Daniele Rugani, who is a good player, but someone they can definitely hold on to for the future, well, they're not really going to want to sell him. So Bonucci's at that perfect age of 32, where if they sell him, they could still get a little bit of money for him, certainly some of the money to cover what it's going to cost to bring in de Ligt, and also they're not really holding on to him for the long future like they are with Rugani. It's for this reason I can see Bonucci leaving and the starting centre-back pairing being Chiellini and de Ligt. So with that incredible centre-back pairing of experience next to the youth in Chiellini and de Ligt, we now move on to the left-back spot, which belongs to Alex Sandro. His brilliant aggression and attacking prowess down the left-hand side has seen him compared to Brazilian compatriot Marcelo, who was also linked with the club earlier in the summer. The return of Zidane to Real Madrid has meant that Marcelo looks like he'll be staying at the Bernabeu, so staying in the left-back spot for Juve will be Alex Sandro. They have recently done a swap deal with Spinazzola and Pellegrini swapping positions, but even so, with a 20-year-old coming into Juventus, I still think Sandro's going to be number one choice. Into the midfield now, and this is where things get a little bit interesting because there is so much talent from Juventus to choose from. Of course, I'm going to give you who I think will start in this two-man holding midfield positions, but you can also let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And whilst you're at it, why not smash the subscribe button? That will give Juventus good luck for the season. Or maybe it won't, but hit it anyway. First off for me though, it's got to be Miralem Pjanic. He's a brilliant passer of the ball and has all the skill and ability to dictate the tempo of the game from deep. This is something that the likes of Blaise Matuidi and Sami Khedira just can't do at the moment. And with both of them getting well into their 30s, it looks like they'll be on the periphery of the squad or sold altogether due to the new signings. Alongside him, and it's another new man in Adrian Rabiot. It's been a tough few months for Adrian Rabiot as he was exiled by Ryan. It's been a bad 6 months for Rabiot as he spent most of the time in exile after telling PSG coach Thomas Tuchel that he wouldn't be signing a new contract. So news of a massive move to Juventus will surely bring fantastic news to the Rabiot household. What he brings is a defensive masterclass in midfield. He's got excellent physicality, strength, passing and defensive work rate that no one else can really offer in that Juventus side. The other competitors to the central midfield position include Bentancur, who's had a brilliant season, you can expect him to get a load of game time, and Emre Can, who's actually so versatile that you can expect him to pop up in a fair few positions, but not really nail down his own. So alongside Milan and Pjanic, I'm definitely going for Adrian Rabiot. Into the attacking midfield now, and it's more than likely to be a very, very narrow attacking midfield for Juventus. Again, this is because Maurizio Sarri says he doesn't want to play a 4-3-3 with out-and-out wingers because he doesn't feel like he has the players that could provide what he needs in a one-on-one situation. This is obviously not going to impress a few of the wingers in the squad, but that's just the way it is, and that's why he's paid to make these key decisions. Anyway, the first player in the attacking midfield trio has got to be Aaron Ramsey. I mean, by the fact they've spent so much money on bringing him in with an incredible $400k a week contract, he's also a pretty good player, so I doubt he's going to be sitting on the bench. His energy, his link-up play, and his box-to-box movement means that he could be a vital asset between the defence and the attack. So the second person in the attacking midfield lineup, and it's going to be Paulo Dybala. Now, last season he didn't have the best of campaigns stat-wise, with only 4 goals and 5 assists, but again was such a key player in the Juventus side because of everything he can do with the ball. It's not always about the stats. When Cristiano Ronaldo scoring all of the goals, you really don't need to chip in with that many. Dybala is probably the closest that we have in world football to someone like Lionel Messi. He's certainly with that left foot and all the ability that he's got when he's dribbling, with his passing and with his vision. Okay, I'm not saying he's like Lionel Messi. I'm not saying he's at the same level, but he's probably the closest we've got. Certainly closer than Douglas Costa. He's someone who's got brilliant ability, but he's actually been held back by his attitude in the past few years, and he's definitely someone who's going to suffer from the lack of wingers in Maurizio Sarri's team. The final player in the attacking trio behind the striker is Paul Pogba. Okay, the deal's not really being close to being done yet, and it's a bit of a fantasy move, but can you imagine if he returns to Juventus? He could be that signing that finally takes them to the Champions League. He did say that there are problems at Old Trafford and he wants a new challenge, which is a bit odd considering he's considering going back to Juventus, but there's also Real Madrid who are said to be interested as well. The signing of Pogba will be a massive statement for Juventus, but have they actually got the money for it? It's been said that they're going to have to sell 1 or 2 players if they're going to bring in him and De Ligt this summer because, well, they can't get everyone on a free transfer like they've been doing recently. If for some reason they can't afford Paul Pogba, which is pretty likely because he's a ridiculous amount of money, they do have Bernardeschi. Now, he's been in brilliant form in the last season for Juventus, although they haven't really found a starting role for him. Maurizio Sarri has said that he believes he's a fantastic player and he wants to find him the perfect role, but it may not be out on the right wing where he started his career at Fiorentina. If so, then it could be in a more central position. And as I mentioned before, for all of you who are going to go nuts in the comment section about this tactic, all 3 central attacking midfielders will be very fluid and move in and out of one another. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be on the left or the right or in the centre. Pogba, Dybala and Ramsey are all going to move about behind one striker. And can you guess who that striker is going to be? Of course, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. The 34-year-old is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down, and when he's fit, he plays. There isn't anyone in the world you'd want in the box to finish off the chances, as he showed with his first season in Serie A last year. Cristiano Ronaldo is still a fantastic player and probably still has many more years to come. That is bad news for Mario Mandzukic, who's going to be getting less and less minutes on the pitch, but it's also bad news for Moise Kean. The youngster had a brilliant time stepping in for Ronaldo when he was injured last season, but if he's not going to get that many minutes, he needs to leave. He needs to be playing in order to continue his development, and it was rumoured that he was going to be part of the deal that brings De Ligt to Juventus, with him going to Ajax on loan in the other direction. If that doesn't happen, he may just move full-time elsewhere. As mentioned before, someone as talented as Kean needs to be playing if he's going to become a legend of the game and break into the Italian squad full-time. So there you have it, my potential starting lineup for Juventus. I say the word potential because it's not set in stone, I'm not the manager, and you guys don't have to go so crazy when your favourite player isn't in there. But what you can do is let me know in the comment section how you think Maurizio Sarri should be lining up as Juventus manager. Of course, let me know all your thoughts and smash that like button whilst you're down there. Until next time though, I will see you guys later.